What? Clean shit water.
The water would be a lot more cleaner if they wouldn't eat these bottom feeders too.
Yep.
It's another thing.
Yeah.
It's all defiled, man. You can say it you want.
It's
all fucked. This is Psalms 119, verse 1. Blessed are the undefiled in the way who walk in the law of Yahawah. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies and that seek him with the whole heart. They also do no iniquity. They walk in his ways. And that's us. Even though we're defiled here, we're still pure in the sight of the Lord because we're following his way.
As I was saying, we eat the worst of the best. The best of the worst.
Yeah, we eat the best of the worst. And it's still defiled. Because he says what? In our weakness, right? He gives us that strength. So by faith. So, you know, you realize, fuck, there's nothing here to live for but Yahawah Shem Yahawashi. Starting with his name. Yeah, man.
It says, Thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently. Oh, that my ways directed to keep my statute. The way you keep it diligently is by doing it to the best of your ability, because obviously you're going to fall short here, right? In certain laws that are written in this book, because you can't keep it perfectly. And it says, Then shall I not be ashamed when I have respect unto all thy commandments. I will praise thee with righteousness, with uprightness of heart. When I shall have learned thy righteous judgments, I will keep thy statutes. Oh, forsake me not utterly. Here's the point. Verse 9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word. With my whole heart have I sought thee. Oh, let me not wander from thy commandments. Thy word have I hid in mine heart, that I might not sin against thee. Right?
So you can't clean. No one can be clean without the scriptures. You know, because according to the word, a lot of people try to become better versions of themselves or try to rebuild themselves, and they always relapse because they don't got the full truth. Because Paul said we got the 100% truth. You know.
Yeah, anything?
When I was going to read 2 Maccabees chapter 6, start at 18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man and of well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live strained with such an abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord to the torment. So they're trying to pull him. Let me go and walk up. Do myself. I'm not fighting him. Now, no. He's like, let me go. I'll go. What's up? Right?
I was also going to say, because that's a good point the brother brought up before about rejoicing in your infirmities, because it's a form of practice. You're building your faith. You know, one thing I noticed when I first came to the truth, I used to complain every time I was going through hell. But it doesn't really help you. It doesn't make you stronger. You're not going to get it right on every single, the first time you do it. But you constantly, every time you go through hell, it's a good practice to remember, yo, this is going to clean me. This is going to clean me.
I'm going to get better.
1,000%. Or else, that's the only way this guy was able to do that. He's like, yo, I'll go there myself. You don't got to touch me. That's glorious. That's the spirit you want to be in.
Verse 20 in 2 Maccabees chapter 6. As it behooved them to come, that are resolute to stand out against such thing as are not lawful for the love of life to be tasted. But they that had the charge of that wicked feast for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision. So basically they told him, don't worry about the swine flesh. Just bring chicken then. Bring chicken. I'm going to tell the people, well, you're not eating pork. You eat a chicken, but say it's pork, okay? But hear what he did.
Yo, that's crazy.
Such as was lawful for him to use. So bring some chicken, bro. Like, don't know what chicken? Chicken sandwich. That's pork, no. But it's chicken. It's chicken. All right. And make it as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king, that in so doing he might be delivered from death. So eat chicken, bro. We don't want to kill you. Just make it tell him you're eating pork and it's chicken. God knows your heart. You know, God knows your heart. You wouldn't know, right?
When Esau comes at you like that, you've broken him.
And remember he started saying like the devout man, like this man's a scribe. So if you're eating chicken now, and say, I eating pork, and then other brothers see it, and say, well, you eat it, they're going to say, you eat it too. So he knows that. He said, nah, bro, I'm not a sellout. The word today is sellout. I ain't selling out, right?
You say truthful.
Yeah, it's an example.
Gone. Right? Verse 22. That in so doing, he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor. But he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age, and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereunto he was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by Yahawashi. Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straightway to send him to the grave. Kill me. Right? For it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10, so he's 90 years old.
A score is 20.
Yeah. Right?
Fourscore, yeah.
Gone. We're now gone to a strange religion, and so they through mine hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and moment longer. So when you take the chip, you might live a little longer. You might open your door and you didn't die like we say right away. You know, a little bit longer, but you're gonna die.
Yeah, the Lord's going to use it as an example.
Gone. Gone.
All that fiery, oh man.
Gone.
Spiritual
So
fire.
long-
Fires, firewall.
Gone. Should be deceived by me, and I get as
Slack it.
should be deceived by me, and I get a stain to mine old age, and make it abominable. For the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men. Yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. Wherefore now, manfully, changing this life, I will show myself such an one as mine age requireth, and leave a notable example to such as be young to die willingly and courageously for the honorable of holy laws. And when he had said these words, immediately he went to his torment, that they led him changing the food that they led him changing the food, will they bear him a little before into hatred, because the foresaid speeches proceeded as they thought from a desperate mind. But when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, it is manifest unto Yahawah, Yahawashi, that hath the holy knowledge, that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in the body by being beaten. But in the soul I'm well content to suffer these things, because I fear him. Last verse. And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of the holy courage, a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but unto all his nations.
Damn, man. Damn.
Well.
You have to see all of that. That's crazy. It's a heavy spirit.
Because enough men say, all right, I'm being lawful by not eating it. So yeah, okay, I'm not eating pork. I eat chicken or some fish with scales and fins, everything, and make everyone else think I'm eating. I didn't sin, but it didn't cause all people to sin. Because hey, that's a man of our nation. If I start eating it, we eat it too, and that's what they wanted, right? So basically, he gave himself. When the mother put a spirit on him, he gave himself to show what we're not supposed to do, right? So we all be tested. Chip, I'm gonna show you. Hey, look. Don't listen to the guys by them black Hebrews, like black. Don't listen to them guys, right? You're not gonna die, and it'll look good. You know what I mean? But he said, no, man, my forefather says, no, kill me. You know, what you gonna do?
You know,
and
it is better to die than to suffer.
That's good enough.
Our King says, right? In the spirit, it's better to
Yeah,
die
yeah,
than
yeah,
to
yeah.
suffer. So taking the chip, selling out, that's suffering actually when you go into it. Now, these men are saying the right thing, and this is something that you're going to rehearse. Most of these men have rehearsed it on different levels, what we're talking about. They can tell you firsthand. So the whole thing, it's practical, right? Now you're understanding it conceptually. Now you're going to go through it. That's what this truth is about. It's practical in the spirit and truth. The Lord is going to bring you through He's going to bring you through this fire. All right? Go ahead.
Real quick, on what he was reading before, you know, that man that thought that out, he was wise, and he wasn't just thinking about himself. He was thinking about everybody else that's going to be watching him. That's what the prophets are for the 2/3, right? And the rest of the world. We're examples, because now the Most High's word is established because men did it, and now they have no excuse. Our example is Yahawashi.
Yes.
So it comes down the line like that.
Okay. So we'll be answering questions when it's switch what we want to start about in first place.
Yeah, kind of.
All right. So this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. Furthermore, then we beseech